All right, guys, let's get into Thursday's NFL matchups. Thanksgiving Day, we're going to start with the Bills versus the Lions. The Buffalo Bills are minus 9.5. The over-under is 54.5. Trey?
The Bills were anointed Super Bowl champs, but here we are. The month of November was not kind to them. Meanwhile, the month of November was very kind for the Detroit Lions. They won 3 straight games. I'm going to look for them to continue their hot streak. I don't think that they're going to pull off the win because it's Thanksgiving and they're cursed, but I do think that they will keep it close because it's national TV and Dan Campbell wants to not get humiliated and cry in the post-game press conference on Thanksgiving. So
yeah.
Detroit Lions plus 9.5 is the play. The Lions are 7-2 ATS in their last 9 home games. The Lions are 6-0 ATS in their last 6 games in November. And the underdog in this matchup is 4-1 ATS in the last 5 games. So Detroit Lions plus 9.5 is the play.
Yeah, the Lions are red hot, winning 3 in a row. I love Dan Campbell. I think him crying in press conferences means he cares more, and I think his players appreciate him crying like that. So I love Dan Campbell. I'm glad they've won 3 in a row. His job was looking not okay. They had to win a couple games there, so I'm glad they won. Unfortunately for the Lions, the Buffalo Bills are nothing like the 3 teams they beat the last 3 weeks. The Lions have a tradition of losing Thanksgiving games, so I'm going to take the Bills minus the 9.5. Jeff Okudah was injured last week against the Lions or against the Giants. He's not going to play in this game, so I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills minus the 9.5. Teats?
I'm the same. I'm taking Buffalo minus 9.5. I don't even know if I need to talk about it too much. Josh Allen is the real deal. They're going to get a revenge game. It is Thursday Night Football. Detroit Lions are not going to show up. I don't even know if they get 10 points scored total, honestly.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a blowout. Buffalo Bills minus 9.5.
I will say this: the under is 5-0 in the Bills' last 5 road games. So their defense does travel, but I do think the Lions' trends for their offensive scoring at home is pretty good as well. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys feel the same. The Bills are playing back-to-back games now on Detroit's field, so I think that is also going to play a factor here for the Bills. So
I like it.
Yeah. Let's move on to Giants versus Cowboys. My Cowboys. Cowboys are minus 9.5 for God knows what reason. The over-under is 45.5. Trey, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's smart to start with me. I know you don't like talking about your Dallas Cowboys.
Give me the Cowboys bad trends and get on with it. God.
No, I'm going Cowboys good trends. Actually, not any team good trends because I'm going under 45.5. So I guess that could be bad Cowboys trends if you want to look at bad offense. But if you look at last week, the Cowboys offense was elite. They absolutely dismantled the Minnesota Vikings. The Giants, meanwhile, struggled last week and lost last week. So I'm going to go for the under 45.5. I think Micah Parsons is going to feast on Thanksgiving. The under is 66-1 in the last 7 Cowboys home games. The under is 4-1 in the last Giants 5 road games. And the under is 8-1 in the Giants' last 9 games in November. So I'm going to say both offenses are at least going to struggle. Who knows? Maybe the Cowboys might win 30-14, and the under will still hit. So I'm going to go under 45.5.
Yeah, last week the Giants played their worst game in the NFL season. The Cowboys played their best game. That's why the line's at minus 9.5, apparently. But I don't like it. But here I am, the Dallas Cowboy fan, and I'm going to take Dallas minus 9.5 at home on Thanksgiving Day because Dallas wins games on Thanksgiving just like the Lions lose games on Thanksgiving. I don't necessarily love the pick, but it's one I'm just going to have to live with and just pray. Last week's performance was amazing for Dallas, so hopefully they keep it rolling in this one. So, Teats?
You know what? I've had a change of heart. I've been thinking about it. I was thinking the Giants plus 9.5. However, Saquon Barkley got completely bottled up last week. Wan'Dale Robinson's out with an ACL tear for the rest of the season. And he was, I think, the best receiver on the team last week. So you literally have what? One receiver and Saquon.
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton. Yeah, who was considered to be almost practice squad material before week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and the Cowboys just looked way too good. I'm siding with the Cowboys minus 9.5, but I do like Trey with the under 45.5.
Yeah, you can parlay it both for 262.
Yeah, and just like the Vikings last week, the Giants are frauds. Everybody knows it. So we're gonna move on to the Patriots versus the Vikings. Frauds, Vikings. The Vikings are minus 2.5 at home. Over under is 42.5. Trey?
And I wrote about this on the website bearsprofitplace.com. So if you read it, you know my pick. I'm gonna go Patriots plus the 2.5. The trends for this are they're all just too juicy. If you look at the Patriots last week, they started a quarterback controversy in New York with Zach Wilson. And who knows, maybe they might start another one next week if Kirk Cousins doesn't perform in prime time. I don't think so, but I do expect the Patriots to travel to Minnesota and at least their defense show up. Last week, their offense wasn't too good, but they are traveling to Minnesota where the Vikings struggle to play, especially on the defensive end. So look for Mac Jones to score at least 2 touchdowns through the air because the Vikings allow the second most passing yards per game. And if you look at the trends, Patriots are 3-0-1 ATS in their last 4 road games. Patriots are 6-1 ATS in their last 7 games overall. And the Patriots are 4-1 ATS in their last 4 games against the Vikings. So I'm going to go Patriots plus the 2.5 here.
Yeah, last week the Vikings had an opportunity to prove the doubters wrong, that they weren't frauds. They failed miserably on the big stage,
Yeah.
40-3 losing to Dallas. The Patriots defense last week was outstanding against the Jets. They wanted a walk-off punt 10-3. That game was a rock fight the entire time. This is a tough game to pick, but I'm going to take the points with the Patriots, and I'm going to also take a money line. Kirk Cousins in primetime games is the worst quarterback in NFL history, and this is kind of like a double down primetime because it's a Thursday night game and a Thanksgiving game. So double the pressure for Kirk Cousins. He's going to be horrible in this game. Yeah, I'll take the Patriots money line. Teats?
You know what happens when you take 2 negatives? They make a positive.
Nah, nope.
So you're
Kirk
taking
Cousins.
the positive points in the Patriots.
I'm not taking the positive points of the Patriots. I'm taking Kirk Cousins gaining a gold chain every win he gets. I'm going Kirk Cousins minus 2.5. I do think that I like the under for 42.5. Here's the thing. The Vikings got absolutely decimated last week against your Cowboys. I don't even know if that offense got off the plane or got off the bus or left the hotel. I think that they were whatever. But the Patriots offense is just as bad. Like, literally, Mac Jones last week could not even lead them to a touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson had like 22 yards rushing. It was Damian Harris as a backup. I'm not like I wrote about that game, the Jets and the Patriots, and I won because the Patriots had that punt return for a touchdown, but I lost all faith in the New England Patriots the rest of the season. The defense, A+. The offense, middle school. Vikings minus 2.5.
All right, Vikings minus 2.5 for Teats.